everyone! Today's video is going to be about the monthly reading challenge I've been participating in. Unfortunately, I got behind on my videos for this challenge, so this is going to combine the February and March challenges together. First up, for February, the challenge was titled Short Month, Short Books, where we were supposed to read as many short books, short stories, or novellas as we could in the month of February. Unfortunately, I had a lot of other books scheduled for February, so I didn't get to read as many of them as I would have liked, but I did get to read 3 of them. And the first book I read in February for the challenge was The Red House by George Agnew Chamberlain. I first saw this as a movie a long time ago, and it really stuck with me. It's an old classic movie. I think it was black and white. But I liked the movie, and when I found out that it was a book, I decided I wanted to try reading the book. So I put it on my to-read list several years ago, and it's been sitting on there for a long time. So this challenge was the perfect opportunity for me to finally be able to read it. This book was written back in the 1940s, and I enjoyed the classic feel of this book. I enjoyed the gothic backwoods feel of it, and I liked how the mystery unfolded and how the characters developed. It was a little bit different than the movie. There were some changes, but I ended up enjoying it just as much as the movie, and I gave it 3.5 stars. The second book I read for the February reading challenge was Mysteries of Thorn Manor by Margaret Rogerson. This is a sequel novella to A Sorcery of Thorns. I read A Sorcery of Thorns a couple of years ago, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, so I was really looking forward to getting back to these characters and being in this world again. And for the most part, I enjoyed this. I didn't enjoy it as much as A Sorcery of Thorns, but I enjoyed it enough to give it 3 stars. The third book I read for the February reading challenge was People Like Them by Minka Kent. This is a psychological suspense thriller. And it's interesting in that it follows people that live in a neighborhood that are going to a progressive dinner party. And as they go from house to house, we get a different perspective at each house. This one had an interesting twist in it. I'm not sure I feel like it was completely plausible because of the way the book was written, but I don't want to say anything about it because I don't want to spoil it. But I did give the book 3.5 stars. Next up is the March Reading Challenge, and the March Reading Challenge was Spring Clean Your Bookshelves. So we're supposed to read as many of our physically owned books from our bookshelves as possible in the month of March, and I ended up reading 4 books for the challenge. The first book I read for the challenge was The Icarus Plot by Timothy Zahn. This is the second book in the Icarus saga. It's a companion series to a book he wrote years ago called The Icarus Hunt, and I really enjoyed The Icarus Hunt. It's one of my favorite books by Timothy Zahn, and so I was thrilled whenever this series came out, and I'm enjoying it for the most part. Maybe not quite as much as The Icarus Hunt, but still, this is a fun sci-fi space opera type read, and I gave this one 4 stars. Next up, I read another Hercule Poirot mystery. This one, Dead Man's Folly by Agatha Christie, was another good installment in the series. I gave it 4 stars. Next, I ended up reading A Noble Scheme by Rosanna M. White. This is the second book in the Imposters series. This is a series I've been thoroughly enjoying. It's a romance in a historical setting with a mystery element to it, and I gave this one 4 stars. And last, I read the second book in the Scholomance series. This is The Last Graduate by Naomi Novik. I really enjoyed the first book in the series. It was a 4-star read for me, but unfortunately, the second book just didn't work for me, and I ended up giving it a 2 or a 2.5 star rating. But there were elements of it that I liked, just not enough. I enjoyed the magic school kind of setting in this. I enjoyed a lot of things about the 2 books, but I think I'm stopping at this one, unfortunately. That's it for my February and March reading challenges, and I will catch you later. Bye!